Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to Storytime with Marika. So today, by that title, you already know what I'm gonna speak about. Yeah, so let's just get into the video on time. So if you don't know, I need you to go check out that first video, which is me starting working at KFC. Right? I worked at KFC for 5 months. It was the best and worst, honestly, because before KFC, I never really had a real job, right? So the only time I ever worked other than that was like at my mom's work, and that was only for like July, August vacation. So it wasn't really a real job, but I was getting paid and I was going to work on time and everything. So KFC was like my first independent, like my first real job, right? So I was really excited about it. Mind you, before I even got through with KFC, I applied to DQ, Popeyes, McDonald's, TGI, Starbucks, like so many different restaurants, because I really wanted a job in the food industry because of clinicals. You know, I am a nursing student and I have clinicals during the week. So clinicals, if I do morning shift at clinicals, I finish at like 3, maybe 2 o'clock on a good day. And so I needed a job that I could pick up after clinical so that I still got to do my hours at school and I could still make money afterwards, right? So I applied to like restaurants, casinos and stuff like that. The only place that I ever got through was at KFC, mainly because the other businesses, it wasn't like an interview or anything. It was just send your resume to so and so email, and my resume was basically blank because I had no experience, but I had all 7 passes from high school. I was fresh out of high school. Even though I was like 18, I still didn't have anything in my name. Like, I never worked anywhere, and like the experience part was basically blank, besides the part where I worked at my mom's work, right? So I mean, as a person working in HR, you're gonna watch this resume and you're gonna be like, next, you know. So that's why I think I didn't get through with the others. But with KFC did like a on-spot interview thing, so you didn't have to drop off your resume or anything like that. You just had to like go in on the day, and I was interviewed on the day and I got the job on the day, and I started working, and it was, like I said, it was the best and worst, right? So when I started working in May of 2022, which was the last year, right? May or April, the ending of April or May, one of them, right? And it was really, really good. It was good but bad because I'm like used to being spoiled, and I'm used to like princess treatment. So like having to work for my own money and everything, it was kind of hard. And then working in that environment as well, like I went to Bishop Anstey, and like everything other than like me growing up and everything, it was never like harsh, you know. I never had like a traumatic childhood or anything. People don't yell at me and all these different things. Like everybody talk to me like normal, you know. I have a disagreement, my mother sit me down and talk to me. Like, it wasn't gentle parenting, but it wasn't like crazy also, you know. So I mean, we always say that between me and my sister, we're both smart, but I have more book sense and my sister have more street sense, right? So yes, she have her degree and yes, she have her passes and everything, but she knows much more like how to work under pressure and all these different things, and she's the firstborn. But me, I'm like I was always inside. I don't do anything. Like, is mommy doing this, mommy doing that, Jonah doing this, which is my sister, Jonah doing that, and you know, like I barely had to do anything for myself. But that was the main reason why I wanted a job. Like, I wanted some sort of independence. You know, I have a dependent, which is Mateo. That is my son. He is dependent on me. So I want to provide for him. So I really wanted a job. And I just started feeling like a burden. Like, I'm 18, you know, I'm still going to school. And I have to raise my child. But I can't do it all by myself. I have to depend on mommy still because I don't work anywhere. So I started working, right? And honestly, working at KFC, it is the ghetto of the ghetto. Like, it is the ghettoest thing possible. I kid you not, right? And as a soft girl, like, I'm not used to people yelling at me and shit, right? So, like, no, I was working at, so how they do it, you train at one restaurant and then you transfer to the restaurant you actually apply for. So you train at like a slow restaurant and then they transfer you to the restaurant that actually need you, right? So gone to that restaurant on my first night to the other restaurant. So my training was good. You know, I used to go to work. I used to love it. You know, it was real good. Gone to the other restaurant. My first day, I kid you not, they asked me to stay back. They was like, can you stay till 10? Till 12? Either till 10 or till 12. And I was like, sure, because there was real short staff. Like, that restaurant was so short staff, it was unbelievable. So I was like, sure. I was cashing, sanitize, packing, sanitize, cashing. Like, it was chaotic. And they never train me. They never teach you about that, you know. Because in the slow restaurant, you was either doing one or the other, you know. So you was either cashing or packing. But they never tell you, oh, it's gonna be different. Nope, they didn't say that, right? So I started working at the front desk. But in the other restaurant, I was working at the drive-thru because the drive-thru is the best place to work. It is. I don't care what nobody say. If you're working at a fast food restaurant and you prefer the front desk over the drive-thru, your restaurant probably different. But in Trinidad, I love the drive-thru because you don't have to see the person, you know? Like, when you take the orders, you just take the order, you know? And even by the window, like, if you have to see the person, like, if you're cashing by the drive-thru, you just cash, you give them their food. And then the window closes. Like, it's not like they're in your face right through, like, in the front counter. But anyways, I started at the front counter and it was terrible. My mother picked me up. I was like, Mommy, I don't think I want to work here, no. That's what I was like, I don't think I want to work here, no. But I was just kicked in. It was my first day. I was like, let me just give it a try. Whatever. School went on vacation. So that was like in June. In end of June. So July, August, right? So I was working like the whole, like all day, every day. So when I started, it was just evening shifts. But in July, August, I was working all different shifts, right? And let me tell you, I'm not even lying when I say this. I was the best employee. Like, not the best employee in the restaurant, but I was like the employee that you want, you know, because I was always there. If you call me, like, I'm there. If you put me to work 6 o'clock in the morning, KFC don't open 6 o'clock, but you understand what I'm saying, right? If you put me to work 6 o'clock, right? So I work, let me use actual shifts. So I work 10 to 6, which is 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., right? And then the next day, you know, you would probably put 10 to 6. No, if you put me for like a evening shift the same day, or like you ask me to stay back and it's like, oh, America, can you stay back from like 6 to like maybe 10 o'clock, which is when the front desk used to close? And I'll be like, sure, because like I was working, I didn't really have school in July, August, so I used to like bend my back backwards for KFC, right? Because I mean, the money was good when you work overtime, right? So so I was like the best. Like, the manager, like, he liked me, not like that, but he was like, you know, like, I think I was one of his favorites. I think so. And then there was like this event. So like, people in my batch, like when I was hired, it was like 5 of us. 3 of us went down to the branch that I was working at, and 1 stayed, or 2 stayed at the training branch. I don't know, I can't remember. And like, other people, like, even not the people in my batch, but other people, they would like stay home. You could roster them for like 10 to 6, or roster them for like 4 to 12, and they would just not show up for the shift, right? But I used to show up. Like, it didn't matter. Sometimes I like 50 minutes late, half an hour late. I mean, I'm human. But I would always show up for my shift, right? You put me to work whatever times, like crazy ass times. Sometimes you work a 12-hour shift today, and then they want you bright and early in the morning for 8 o'clock. Like, I didn't care. I was there. I sacrificed a lot, and I was like, this is my job. You know, I used to go to work. I didn't really care. Tell me why the one time I actually wanted to stay home. Like, okay, so let me tell you. There's like a roster that comes out every week, right? So the roster comes out every week But if you want a specific day, you write it on the old roster. So like when your roster come up for this week, if you want next week Tuesday off, you write down next week Tuesday off, right? You could put a reason why, or you could just put next week Tuesday off, please, and you just write today. So that when they're doing up the next roster for next week, they know that, okay, Marika want Tuesday, Amanda want Thursday, like that's how it is, right? So sometimes, like, I generally used to take any day, like whatever day they give me, and whatever day off I get, right? But there's this one time I wanted this specific day, so I write it down. I was the first person to write it down. It was on the top. It's not like anybody like request that day, right? So it had no reason for me not to get the day. Write it at the top. Tell me why the next roster came out and this man gave the day to somebody else, right? He gave the day to somebody who didn't even show up for work that week. Like, he didn't even come to work for like 3 days in that week, but he gave him that day. So I was like, why are you doing this? And I was like, well, I call his name. And I was like, well, I didn't say sir, because we don't say sir. We just call them by the name. So let me just say his name is Ian, right? I was like, Ian, I asked for the 20th off. And he was like, for real? Take the roster, watch it. And he was like, oh shucks. So I texted my mother one time and I was like, I am not going to work. This was wrong. I know it was wrong. I should have told them. But like, I hear sun up to sundown. The least you could do is give me the day, right? And I asked you for the day in advance. And it's not like, somebody else asked for the day and it was more important or something like that. No, you just didn't give me the day. I was like, okay, whatever. And it was a morning shift too. It was a morning shift. I was like, okay, whatever. The day came, I went to work the day before the day. And the day that I wanted the day off was the party. Okay, it was FOC, right? So I went to FOC. I was like, nope. And so happened, my phone died in like, FOC finished like 9 o'clock. My phone died at like 8:30, right? And I was supposed to go to work for 9 to 5 or something like that, right? So I think they was calling me, but my phone was off. I went home and went straight to bed. I did not give a rat's ass, right? Because actually I did give a rat's ass, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm missing work. Like, I should be at work, panicking because I'm always at work. Like, I'm literally always there. I was sleeping, eating, breathing KFC. Like, I was always there. So me ducking work was just like, oh my gosh, what to do? I remember I was like, girl, relax, like they wouldn't die without you. And I was like, okay, went to sleep. I went to work the Monday, and I honestly was expecting this man to send me home because he does be like, if they miss work, they will just get sent home the next day. But because I am a good employee, I went to work, and he was just vexed. Like, he was like, why I never come to work yesterday? And I was like, because I didn't want to. No, I didn't say that. I said, because I couldn't. He was like, why I couldn't? I was like, because I couldn't. And then he was like, I know why I never come, but we ain't gonna talk about that. Tell me why this man never talked to me for weeks. Like, I come in the office, come into work on time, come in for my actual shift, good afternoon, and he not answering me. So I was like, what really going on here? Because is this primary school? Is this secondary school? Like, why we beefing? Literally, all your employees just do you the same thing. Even worse, they don't come for days and then they just show up and you just be normal with them, but you can't be normal with me. With me, Marika? Like, I am always here. It's one day, From that day, that man never was the same. Like, he changed drastically. So, right, from that day, it was like everything was a problem. Everything was a problem. Every time I working on shift with that man, is always something, right? And then to me, like, just working at KFC after that just became hard because, like, I used to be like his bouncy fly and it was good. It was just like a good understanding. But after that, like, he just said to course for no reason, and I talk about serious course. As a manager, you shouldn't be getting on like that. Honest to God, he was literally cursing. And then it had one point, like, he kind of get over it, and he was normal and laughing and thing like normal with me. Well, with me. And then, like, but little thing just started to, like, it was just weird. Like, it's at this one time, I went Smoothie King and I buy a smoothie, right? You're not supposed to be eating or drinking in the restaurant. You could eat or drink in the office or like on the side by like where the customers can't see you, right? So I was drinking my smoothie because that day the restaurant was like empty. It was like starting back in like September. So, school start back, it wasn't like as busy as it usually is. So I was drinking my smoothie. So every time like I finished with a customer or when it didn't have customers, I would just take a sip of my smoothie and I would just rest it there. It had a cup right next to mine, and it was another lady's own. But she's like a big person in there, right? So it was my cup and then her cup. Tell me why I finished, cash a person, go on back. No cup. So I asked the lady, I was like, Amanda, you see my thing? She was like, yeah, it's right next to mine. I like, nope. She like, yes, it's right there. She come inside. She looked there. It's not there. She said, well, Ian probably move it. Go on by Ian. I was like, Ian, you move my smoothie? Yeah, I throw it away. What? You chewing my thing? Mind you, Ian, mouth always going. Like, Ian does be eating and taking orders, eating a chicken leg, eating fries. Like, he right there in the restaurant eating. Like, right there. Behind the thing where you just take the orders to deliver. Like, he mouth always going. He always eating. But you chewing my smoothie. That was just spiteful thing. I'm telling you. Something wrong with a man, right? That was one. Then it's had another thing. And I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. But all these things used to happen. And as they happen, I used to tell my mother, right? So I used to be like, Mommy, so-and-so happened. Or, Ian do so-and-so. Or how Ian does talk to me or whatever. This one particular day, it was a Saturday. I went to work. I was like, everything was normal. I was working on shift with Ian, right? Ian, there's nothing about name, but it suited him, oh gosh, right? Ian come, and he was like we was getting ready for a rock or something, which is like an evaluator who does come in your restaurant and, whatever. So, like, I was cashing in a drive-thru, right? So, in a drive-thru, well, you don't know because you don't be in KFC, but I was cashing in a drive-thru, and there's like a table right here where you just get the orders from the packer. Ian was my packer that day, so Ian packing and resting the orders on the table, whatever, and then like the drinks machine is here, and then the window is here. So you take you look in the box and saying type up the order on the screen, and then you tell the order tell the customer the total, and then you give them the food when they pay, whatever. Right? So I fill in a soft drink because the person needed a soft drink. Ian is to tell me what you doing? Don't move from there unless you're going to the bathroom. So Ian started to talk to me like he's icy child. So you don't want me fully soft drink. I understand. Okay, you want us to move fast, right? But it's the way in which you just talk to people, right? So he was like, don't move from there unless you're going to the bathroom. So I was like, okay. I never move from there. I stay riding. So then now, it was another time he come, and I tell you, Ian mouth always going, Ian always eating. It's never a problem for anybody to eat anything, right? Like, everybody, they require a meal or something like two chicken and 2 pieces of chicken and a side, or like a sandwich and a side with a drink, right? But like, if you want something to eat, you could just ask for something to eat and you could get something to eat. Once it's not busy, you just, But like, I tell you, me and Ian was good, right? So like, it wasn't a problem if, like I say, Ian, I taken a corner of a meal, or Ian, I taken like some fries, whatever, right? But this one day, like, he was in a good mood, whatever. So I just take some fries, right? This was the last day I was there. I took some fries. And like, I kid you not, it was like 10 strips of fries, like 10 actual fry, right? 10 fries in like a boat. I did not eat in the restaurant. I went in the office and I was eating. You see how this man bad mind? He come in the office, closed the door so nobody would hear him, and he was like, who tell you could take that? So I was like, you're supposed to ask? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay. He was like, get rid of it. As in, throw away the fries, right? So I was like, okay, take the fries. I stopped through one time. Take the fries, throw it in the bin. Went right back to my station. I said, I sit right there. I wasn't on break. I didn't go on my phone. I didn't do nothing because I was like, oh, and I'm talking about that phone too. It's at the time I sit down on my phone. Everybody on their phone, because your son dead. But it's Marika, come off your phone, them cameras, and them you can't be on your phone right there because the cameras watching. Okay. But everybody else not on their phone. BFFR, please. But anyways, back to that day. I didn't go on my phone, nothing. I say, all right, I'll go in by my desk. I mean, not by my desk, by my station. So go back to my station, cash out my orders, whatever. I was like, I could go on my half, which is my break, right? And he was like, okay, whatever. Go on my half. As I reach on my half, I called my mother one time. I was like, Mommy. Well, I went on my half. I went to the mall. Mommy, you know so and so and so. Now, I always complaining about Ian and always complaining about KFC. So, like, I really didn't think anything was going to come out of this. I just want to vent to my mom's, right? So I called my mom's and I was like, you know, Ian get on like a cast. This, I didn't say that. Oh, gosh. Sorry, my language. I was like, you know, this man tell me, like, he was like, get rid of it, like, and he couldn't even say, finish it, don't let it happen again, right? He was like, throw it away the food. He wanted me to throw away the food instead of me eating, right? I was like, okay, call my mother, and she was like, what? I was like, yeah. She was like, why are you still working there? I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, no, that is enough. Like, you need to leave. And I was like, you mean no? Because I in disbelief, because I always complaining. Like, since after that FOC thing, when I asked for the day, like, it was complaints almost every week. Every week I complaining. So, like, I really didn't think my mother was going to tell me to leave the job. So I was like, you mean no? She like, yes, I'm coming for you. Leave. And I like, okay. So I gone back to KFC. That's after I sit down in the mall and I eat my burger. No, I didn't eat my burger. I carried my burger back to KFC. I paid to my bag and I went back. No, I sit down in the office, I eat my thing. And then I was like, I leaving. That's what I tell him. And he was like, you can't leave, you on the draw. I was like, well, I can get a read off, please. And he was like, yeah, the wait. So I messaged my mother one time. I was like, I on the draw, so I can. She said, girl, walk out today. And I like, Michelle, you really want me to? She like, yes. She like, this is what she said. She said, I just done begin thunder in work already. You can be getting it here for $17.50 an hour. Like, what? I was getting minimum wage, right? So she was like, leave. I was like, okay. So when he realized like I was actually serious, he come and read more and saying, and then he was writing something on a piece of paper. I was like, whatever. That was a Saturday. My mother picked me up and I walked straight out there with my bag on my back. I didn't even take my meal, nothing like that. Cause I done take the fries and anytime I want get rid of it, I was like, whoop, whatever. Went in the car. Then my mom's like, we went home. That was literally my last day. I was like, wait, so like that's it? She like, yeah, that's it. You stay home and I go mind you. That was just it. She was like, you stay home and I go mind you. You can't be going to work and that how people treating you. And it's not like no big salary again. That's what she was like, excuse me. So I was like, okay, it still feel weird. Right? The Sunday I stay home. The Monday, no, I had like a favorite supervisor there. Like, she was the best ever. She's the only one who used to let me eat on time. Like, she wasn't so down your throat all the time, you know. Like, it's at the next one, she just used to sit down and she asked. Like, she just used to sit down and do nothing. And then you're asking her, like, for help. No, you have to cash and pack, and she just sit down in the office. The only time she used to work is when Ian around. And then on top of that, like, you're asking she to eat, and she most upset. Like, you not supposed to be hungry at all. You not supposed to eat. You're a robot. You just have to work. So she was the worst. But you see, my favorite supervisor, she was the best thing since sliced bread. Like, she used to do everything. If something happened, like, let me just say a spill, she used to mop it up. Like, she's not like, well, as a supervisor, so I'm not supposed to do that. All is supposed to do that, you know? Like, she used to put in the work, and she was, like, the best thing ever. She should have been the manager. Honestly, KFC, if you're watching this, she should be the manager, not Ian. But, yeah. And then, like, I was talking to, I was like, I really don't like how Ian does be talking to people and how he does be treating me and saying. And whatever. And she was like, well, you could at least talk to him or talk to the area manager, let him know whatever. I was like, I come in Monday. But I think she thought that I was coming Monday to work, but I really wasn't coming to work. I went to drop my uniforms, right? So, like, when I went, I walk in Monday, I had on a pink jersey. I can't remember what I had on. Walk in with a bag in my hand. So I walk in the office, put on a hairnet, walk through the restaurant, walk in the office, and I was like, no, Ian braced me by the door, and he was like, if I did call it to work, you would not come. Calling, thinking that my favorite supervisor called me and I came to work. I was like, I never come to work, and I dropped the uniforms on the table. He was like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah. And I just walk out. The man never asked me. He said, but why? And honestly, honest to God, before I leave, about 5 people leave. 4. Maybe 3. 4 or 3 people leave. And I think it's that man who make people leave. Like, some people leave at their own will, but some people was pressured. And some people who still working there, they'll still be pressured, but they back just broad, right? And nope, I wasn't taking it. I was like, nope. So that was the Monday. I think the Tuesday or the Monday evening, the area manager, she was a darling as well. She called me and she was like, Marika, I heard you're turning the uniform. I was like, yep. She was like, so you're not coming back? I was like, nope. She was like, but you was a really good employee. I think you should think about it, even if you like switch branches or anything. I was like, nope. I was like, I leave. She's like, why? And I tell you the whole thing, everything about Ian, everything that I went through from since when that day with FOC to the day that I leave. And I was like, is he who making the employees leave? Why you feel that restaurant never have employees and always short staff? It's because he does be pressuring the employees. That what I was telling you. I was like, I didn't mind staying, but my back not so broad for $17.50. That's what I tell her. Because if I understand, if I was in, like, all jobs, you would always have, like, something bad about it. So you have to know, you can't be, as you get a job, somebody don't like you want to leave. Like, that is not the case, right? I take real tata from this place. And if it was like a bank work or something, and I was getting a little 5,000, a little, 6,000-7,000 for the month, then all right. But me working day and night at KFC for $17.50, like, no. And they really should raise their fee, because I was working there for 5 months, and tell me why the prices raised 3 times in that 5 months. I was working there 5 months, but the prices for KFC raised 3 times. Nobody's salary raised, nothing can happen. You don't get like a bonus or anything like that. Nope. $17.50. And then, like, when you talk about it, like, it does be so much. And then in the ending, like, before I left, I couldn't keep up with both clinicals and working. So it was like real draining. So I ended up switching to part-time. So I was only working on weekends. So it was like 3 days for $70.50. $70.50. 3 days only. Like, in July, August, I get to work my overtime. So I used to get like $1,300 a week, right? And it was good. Like, $1,300 a week is real good. But you're tired like Roma after that $1,300. So you can't even enjoy your money, honest to God. And then I was paying like my son's school fees and stuff. So it was just like crazy, and then to go from $1,300 to like $500 a week, that was draining. And then I was still tired because I have clinicals and school. Nope. I was like, nope. And I told her, I was like, my back end so broad for $17.50. Maybe if it was more, maybe, yeah, I would have considered it. But no. I was way too tired. As I close my eye, it's time to wake up and go to work. And it was a real draining. I didn't even have time for, like, my family. I didn't have time for Mateo. Like, it was just work, school, work. And it was real draining. Like, it was, nope. But, like, I don't regret working there. Like, it taught me a lot of things. And, like, the customer, I encountered so many terrible customers. But when I switched from front to the drive-thru, it was the best thing ever. Like when they switched me, it was the best thing ever. Working at the drive-thru is way better than any front. Like there was this one time, this lady came in and she like had an online order, and I was like, well, it's not here, so do you want me to cancel it and you place it over? And she said yes. And then she was like, okay, she ready to pay. And I like, well, we have to do over the order. She was like, but I just, and she started to loud me up, like scream at me, like scream. And then the area manager came out, Ian came out, and I was literally crying. I was in tears because, again, I'm a soft girl. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this at all. No. My mother don't talk to me so. Nobody don't talk to me so. My teachers don't talk to me so. Why are you doing this? No. And I get paid for you to stand up there and talk to me like that? Madness. Madness. But yeah, it was just crazy. Like I had really nice customers that used to give me nice tips and stuff. And then I had like terrible customers. Like it was terrible. And then people used to try to like shame me for my job. Like, you working at KFC. Ha ha ha. But it wasn't me because why me making money affecting you? Why, baby? Why? Because I was like earning an honest dollar, first of all, and it was paying food on my table, secondly, you know. And people automatically think because you work in KFC, you work in security, you work in like fast food restaurants, they think it's a dunce. But I'm not a dunce. I have 5 1s, a 2 and a 3. I was just working KFC because it fits my schedule perfectly, you know. But people just So if you work in KFC, you're working anyway like that, don't let nobody shame you for your job. Because you're going there, and you're working your 8 hours, your 9 hours, your 12 hours, and you're getting your money. So no. I wouldn't say that I wouldn't recommend working KFC. I actually would. But you have to, first of all, know what you're signing up for, know the salary, right? And then secondly, if you have a child or you're going to school, it's not for you. I'm telling you, it's draining. Or if you just have real stamina and you could go at it, then all right, you could work at KFC, you could work at McDonald's, you could work at all these different places. But me, I don't have the stamina for that. And my mom, when she was like, you stay home, I go mind you. I was like, okay. So now I'm just home doing school. And I think she want me to start back working. But baby, no, I'm not working until I finish my bachelor's degree. Like, I would start my own little business and stuff, you know, do my little YouTube and stuff. But to say go back, like in a restaurant and work a 8-hour shift, no, baby. Me can't do it. Sorry, I really can't. But yeah, that was my experience at KFC. I really don't know. I don't know if Ian's still working there. But I think my favorite supervisor is still working there, and I just hope she's promoted because she's the best thing since sliced bread. She is the best thing that KFC have. And then there's like the cooks and then the regular team members. Like, it was really good. Everybody should be nice and stuff. But you see Ian, and you see the supervisor who just used to sit down. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I love you all a lot. And stay tuned for the next video. Bye.